Hi guys, Black is here. And hey, listen, I have a YouTube fan. He's very private, so I'm not going to call his name or tell you what state he lives in because he's extremely private. He says he's not DL, but he's extremely private. He don't like, never mind, I'm telling too much. Anywho, we talked yesterday, on the day before, I think it was the day before, but anyway, he was telling me he had a GM car. I'm not going to say what kind of GM car, but he has a GM car, and it has 200,000 miles. And he told me he's worried that the transmission is going to go out. And I'm like, why are you worried? And he says, well, it's got 200,000 miles, and I've never serviced the transmission. I'm like, why haven't you serviced the transmission? He tells me he bought the car when it had about 150,000 miles on it. And he was afraid to change the transmission fluid because, like, he heard the bull crap that people say online, like the Car Wizard, the Car Care Nut, and a few other mechanics have given out bad information. And I told him that, dude, if I bought the car he bought, it's a front wheel drive GM, it's a V6. I don't want to say what kind of car because, again, the guy's real private, okay? He probably not going to like me talking about this, even though I'm not, giving out any personal information. But anyway, if I bought this car, even if I bought this car from him, right, with 200,000 miles, even if the transmission, oh, by the way, the fluid is black. He said it runs good, it doesn't smell burnt, but it's black. And I'm like, dude, when transmission fluid is black, you're supposed to change it. But anyway, if I bought this car with 200,000 miles from him, would I change transmission fluid, or would I listen to the Car Wizard, the Car Care Nut, and all them other stupid ass mechanics, automotive technicians or whatever? I would drop the pan and change the filter as soon as I bought it. I would not put any kind of additive in it, not even lube guard, not Lucas. I would put the normal transmission fluid that goes in the car. I would go to O'Reilly and buy the filter from them. Why? It's not so much the filter. I like their rubber, they use a rubber gasket usually. And that rubber gasket can be reused. You 30,000 miles down the road, you can drop the pan and reuse it. By the way, if you decide to do this, put Vaseline on the gasket and it'll come right off next time, which the rubber is going to come off anyway. But again, I would drop the pan and change. It would not be afraid at all, not even slightly afraid. And I told him, dude, GM put a filter in the transmission to do what? To keep dirt out of the fluid, okay? So that bull crap about there's debris in the transmission fluid and that debris is what keeping the clutches from slipping. Well, when you change the transmission fluid, you put new clean transmission fluid and the clutches can't grip because they don't have that debris. That is stupid as hell. Honestly, I can't believe you are a mechanic and you put that bull crap out there, and a lot of them are doing it. So you say, well, Black, if everybody is saying it, why is it not true? Just because everybody said does not mean it's true, okay? Like I just told you, the filter is designed to do what? Remove dirt from the fluid. Now, some people say, it won't remove all the dirt. It will remove most of the dirt from the fluid, okay? When I say most, I mean like 80%, 90%, but most, okay? But again, so there's no debris running through your transmission. The debris is in the filter, okay? So when you change the fluid in the filter and you put new clean fluid in there, your clutches are not going to slip. Now you say, well, Black, I heard people that transmission running good and they changed the filter and it started to slip. you are lying or they lied to you. Because first of all, if the transmission is running good, no one is going to change the fluid. No one. But anyway, getting back to this. I can't think of no other examples because I've spoken about all the examples of why you should change transmission fluid. And it's not so much the fluid that need to be changed, it's the filter. The filter. When you change the fluid and filter, okay, you put a new filter. Just say his transmission has 200,000 miles, okay? Most likely the filter is dirty. He said the fluid is black, so I know the filter is probably stopped up. I told him to take the filter off. Just say like, this is the filter. This is the transmission. You bring the filter down from the transmission. I told him to turn it over and pour old fluid through the filter, and I guarantee it's going to come out. And it bags out because the filter is dirty. So when you put a new filter in there, you have a transmission pump. Some people call it oil pump, but it doesn't matter. It's a pump. When that filter is clean, that pump can pump a lot more fluid with a clean filter than it can with a dirty filter. So now you probably say, well, Black, why do Car Wizard, the Car Care Net, why do they say that if it's not true? Because they don't want to get caught holding the bag if something goes wrong with your transmission. For example, this fan, say he take his car to the Car Wizard with 200,000 miles and tell the Car Wizard he want him to drop the pan, change the filter. First of all, the Wizard is not going to do it because it has 200,000 miles. He's not going to do it. But just say if he did do it. Say he dropped the pan, changed the filter, and put transmission fluid back in it, and then for whatever reason, say a week later, the pump explode, which has nothing to do with him changing the filter, but just say the pump explode. All right, the transmission start working. What's going to happen? That guy's going to go back to the Car Wizard and say, hey, my transmission was working fine until you changed the transmission fluid. And he's going to blame, well, he may not blame the Car Wizard, but most people will blame the Car Wizard. But this is the reason why the Car Wizard, the Car Care Net, and a bunch of other shops don't want to mess with transmission with high miles, because at any time they could go. And who's going to get blamed? The last person who touched the transmission. That's the reason why they don't want to do it. And so you say, well, Black, why don't they just say that then? When has a certain type of man, when has an 87 man told the truth? Dre, y'all have a good day.